It's nice talking to you again, fellow compatriots from the Green Coast, otherwise known as Liberia. You know, all through our talks, our writings, we're afraid of the name Liberia because we think it's a cheating name. However, we constrain to use it every now and then because we don't want to keep our people lost. It will take some time for people to understand why we think Liberia is a cheating name. However, we're happy again to talk to you on this elections matter. We know through the grace of God, tomorrow, which is Tuesday, the 26th of December, the forces of deceit, the forces of lies, the forces of marginalization, and the forces of corruption will be duping our people again into going to stand online. Our people, 99.9% of which don't know what's happening, not because they are dull, but because some system, some design has been set up against them to work against them. People will be going tomorrow blindly to cast ballot. We want you, through the grace of God, anybody who's privileged to come across this video, to please listen and listen well. The exercise, that activity called election, is a very beautiful democratic activity, but it can be misused, it can be manipulated, it can be used as a tool of maneuver by wicked people just for their personal gains. That's what's happening in this country. One of the greatest mothers of democracy and the biggest democracy in our world today, the United States, started off without even a political party. According to the founding fathers of the United States, the first step to take if you really want to build a democracy is to develop the minds of your people, to educate your people, to afford them high quality education. That's the only time you can enjoy democracy. And democracy is not just about holding elections. Democracy goes far beyond holding elections. In this country, we don't even know yet, nobody knows yet whether we're even independent. The knowledgeable people know that we're not independent. But vast majority of the people, because of our lack of knowledge, don't know that we're not independent. And for lack of independence, we will never take any step, we will never make any progress. But the only thing that is being taught in this country is how to go to stay online, to cast ballot, because that's the way the status quo that benefits the American Liberians. In fact, it benefits the United States first because that's the imperial master of this country. Then it benefits the American Liberians because they do their job through the American Liberians. And the big structure that all of them use is the government of Liberia. So people, the biggest civic duty that has been inculcated into the brains of the people of this country is to stay online. So we are saying that every country, every group of people face certain problems like this in their lives. But there were times that people said enough was enough to certain messy situation. What we're faced with here is not just an issue of human being alone. We're also stepping against our Creator because He has problem. If we establish that something is wrong, but because of personal gains or because of greed or because of some emotions, fear and other stuff, we refuse to do the right thing. Nobody's problem, no group of people's problem was solved by elections. Elections can only come about, they can only become beneficial when people set systems to work for them. So as I started with the United States story, the United States started without any political party. It was later on that Alexander Hamilton even set up the Federalist Party. And they insisted that they must develop their citizens first before having elections. Even as we speak today, democracy in America is very, very restricted. You find out that you have only two major parties that can field candidates for presidency in the United States. Apart from only two major parties fielding presidential candidates, there's also an electoral college process in the United States whereby members of Congress have to be the final whistle, or have the final whistle to blow in who becomes president of the United States. Today, you have a country of a colony that we normally would call it colony because it's a complete black American colony of 4.5 million people, but it has 27 political parties. God forbid. A messy situation, and this situation will continue to be sustained by people who are the less than 1% that are benefiting from it. We are insulting our Creator, God forbid, and He is not insulted. We need to come to our senses and do the right things. We need to take the right steps. What kind of country on planet Earth was given independence by some club, a club that went bankrupt in short time and closed down? What kind of country was established based upon lies? Every founding theory of Liberia is lie. Our poor people know it. Some educated people know it. Because it's one thing to be educated, and it's one thing to be honest. Because when you are honest, you always fight to do the right thing. But if you get out of the book and you decide to just brush aside certain things that have to do with morals, you're on the wrong track. Anyway, let's lecture you on this issue of why we are warning you, politely warning you not to go to stand online tomorrow. We are saying from our Print Revolution, if you still go, we know people will still go to stand online. But let's be on record, let the world know, let fellow compatriots know that because we think there must be certain time in our lives that we gotta say no to the wrong thing. And it's not a small decision. A lot of things could happen. But we trust God that we will overcome. Because of this situation, we are saying any outcome of your elections, we will not recognize the winner. Whether it is Mr. Weah, whether it's Mr. Boakai. Once we still have a situation as somebody that people will be flying a flag of 11 stripes, 11 Johnsons and McLeans during the 1847 so-called constitutional convention that brutally kept our people away, calling our people animals. Once we have that flag still flying with 11 stripes, once we have that flag that lies that Liberia is the only independent republic on the African continent, that one star in that blue field, even if it was so in 1847, people believe so in 1847, what's about 2017? We have more than 50 republics now on the African continent, and you will still maintain that lie. All because certain group of people are benefiting from it. Once we still get a motto that says the love of liberty brought us here, we will know that our parents, they from the crew background, from the bastard background, from the man background, from the down background, etc., did not come from somewhere for the love of liberty. Some people came just to find suitable farming location. Some people came to do business, and a long list of different reasons. Once we still have that motto that lies, that the love of liberty brought us here, when we know that even people that came from North America, that were brought here from North America, did not come here on their own before they ever claimed about love of liberty. They were forced here, they were dumped here because they were terrorizing the U.S. society. They became so much of a threat that they were rounded up and systematically rounded up, for that matter, and brought here. We cannot continue with those lies anymore. We must do something, because those foundation theories have serious impact on all of us future. They have serious impact on all of us lives, all of our lives. And we must do something about it. Now, this generation, the buck must stop with this generation. We're not going to pass this buck to future generations, because they are already killed in advance. come to think about it, what do they have? All your resources have left. People have stolen all your resources in the name of running government. What do the future generations have to be able to do this kind of great task? This kind of huge civic task. So we're saying that buck stops with this generation. We must set our foundation theories right before moving forward. And no time is ever rare than now, when the international community is so much involved with us. No time in this country's history has he had all of the international community's presence within our midst. We must take advantage of it now and make sure that we set these founding theories correctly. So, until or any elections that will bring about people flying that flag, people going to swear upon the Bible or the Quran to uphold the Liberian culture, that culture of lies, that culture of mischief, we're not going to lend any more legitimacy to Liberia. The name Liberia itself that was given in 1824 by his honorable Robert Gulu Harper of the state of Maryland in the United States. We're not going to honor it. We need to name our country ourselves. We need to sit on the table with the United States, with the U.S. government, and discuss the issue of our independence. We'll give every reason why we think we are not independent. We'll give every proof. We need some dialogue. Once we still have this kind of messy constitution, Article 97 of which, for example, says the people that are killed as productive as President Tubber was, the most productive that our research has proven in this country's 195-year history. People came and used guns and killed him like killing animals in the street. And then Article 97 of your constitution comes cleverly and says nobody should take Tubber's killers to task, all because research has shown that America's hands were in it. We're not going to condone these kinds of things continuing to hamper our destiny. Only God we're supposed to be afraid of. Only God, we don't have that audacity to want to question. But human being, you can be as great as what? We should be able to ask you certain questions. So we're saying our future, our destiny, everything about us is being tempered with because of this nasty foundation. And everything about it, everything that continues on this nasty foundation continues to go bar off. We have a country that has no principles, no guiding principles. We have a country that has no systems. We have a country that has no ideologies. Look at the politics of Liberia, for example. You only hear names. Nobody in the country knows what form of economics we are running. Oh, it's too much. We are saying enough is enough. This 2017, we must start from somewhere by the grace of God. So we're telling you that God will help us. Maybe you feel that we're so insignificant to bring these debates. But God will help us. He will multiply our strength. Don't forget what he did with the issue of 5 loaves of bread and 2 pieces of fish. And he's going to do it in our situation. We're telling you, join us to present to our Savior these 5 loaves of bread and 2 pieces of fish, so that change comes to our 4.5 million people. Our people deserve better than this nasty situation. So in short, if you go into the polls tomorrow so we can elect a president, honor the name Liberia, a capital city named after James Monroe, and all this mess, we're not going to go there again by the grace of God. Although it's a process, that process is 1 million miles. Those 1 million miles must start with a single step, and that's the step our revolution is taking. So we're saying, please avoid the ballot box. Too many things are attached to Liberia's ballot box. We see too much danger coming ahead. Let's stop. Let's set our house in order. We see the danger not because we wish for it, but because if we fail to use knowledge and wisdom, if we fail to use knowledge and vision to get our lives straight, God will inflict these things upon us. If you think we're lying, go and read Ezekiel chapter 14. Maybe start reading from the verse 12 upwards to see what God can do to a people. Read, for example, Malachi 1 verse 4. If you believe in the Bible, to find out what God can do to a people who desire to fear me and forget about the principles of God, the instructions of God. Only God we need to pay our complete allegiance, give our complete allegiance to. Amen. So this issue of Liberia, for example, of a flag since 1847, that has not changed, all because it serves the interest of one group over 16 indigenous groups, 16 original groups, the owners of the land. And we continue to maintain that flag. Yet still want to stand on now every time we vote. We want to maintain that flag and think that we can go in the American Liberian courts and expect fair justice. When those symbols and emblems, the dispensation of justice, fair justice, rest upon those symbols and emblems. The dispensation of fair justice rests upon the Constitution. It rests upon your seal. It rests upon your motto. How effectively you work as a citizen, it rests upon all of those things. The social cohesion that we need for peace to ever come, it rests upon those things. But we continue to dodge all in the name of elections. Why would the great United States of America, by now, in its 241-year history, you are 195 years old, Liberia, you claim to. United States is just less than 50 years older than you. You have a flag that was designed since 1847 that has never changed. United States of America has changed its flag 26 times. And it's working on its 27th flag change. Anticipating the bringing on board or the integration of another state, which is Puerto Rico. United States has changed its motto. It has changed. It has had more than 25 solid constitutional amendments, with the first coming 10 in 1792 with the Bill of Rights. America's Pledge of Allegiance has been edited more than 3 times. America has had more than 2 different changes now to its national anthem. Beginning with Hail Columbia, to My Country Tis of Thee, and now to the Star Spangled Banner. You have all of your emblems and symbols here that continue to remain static. One veteran by the name of Cyrus Publilius has said, any grand plan that does not tolerate change to it is very cruel. People must take note of it. Why? Up to today, a constitutional review committee was set up. Constitutional Review Commission was set up, headed by Gloria Scott. All of the beautiful recommendations that came up were trashed under the table or under the carpet. A symbols review committee was set up after Dr. Don has told this country repeatedly that these symbols are divisive, they are segregative, and something must be done about them. If not, they continue to serve as recipes of chaos. You set up a symbols review committee. Today, no one knows what has become of it. Yet still, you expect people to stand online to continue on the same thing. We fought war in this country. All sort of funny things happened in this country. Tower was killed from 1980, 1979. Deaths occurred. From the international community came. A special arrangement from Accra CPA said from 1979 to 2003, all of those terrible crimes against humanity that took place here, some sort of justice solution or solution package must be found for our people. The same government came and trashed every recommendation of the TRC under the carpet, all because anyone wanted to be president for the second term. This court system that has backlog of cases for years, it took less than 10 days to come down with ruling against a 3 years, 4 months process that had international panelists and all on the TRC. A process that was intended to bring some semblance of justice so that we can build upon. What kind of peace can we ever obtain without justice? We sat down there. These people threw all of those things into the dustbin. Now they're behind us to go and continue business as usual. Any election will bring to power another criminal. Let us tell you something here. It's so pathetic to establish that our country was set up just for criminal purposes. To the point that you must be a criminal in this country before you become president. Because the Americans will best work with you. God forbid. We must stop somewhere. This car is full of problem from the tail light all the way into the engine. And just as Julius Jay, once of Fabric FM, said, you can't know that a car has problem all the way into its engine, and you want to keep running it while repairing it. This car must be halted. It must be halted this 2017 for now to March before Omeo leaves. Let's have an all citizens conference. We also call it a sovereign citizens conference. We believe that there are some educated people here now. There are some honest people here now. They just need space to do their part of work. To have a round citizens conference, round table conference, we'll have people from the United Nations. People will read our articles for more details. We've got above. We can have those kinds of talks, and we can come up with some solutions. We need truthful independence, genuine independence, genuine sovereignty. We cannot continue to be a mockery to all of these beautiful principles. Please read our Plain True Revolutionary pamphlets, our articles. They are all on the internet. If you Google anything about Plain True Revolution now, you'll start to listen to our videos, you start to listen to our audios, and we are prepared by the grace of God to go to any positive length to ensure that our country changes by the grace of God. We're prepared to take matters into our hands positively, constructively, and peacefully. We are not violent people. So we are saying this is a lawfully warning out there to our people. Abstain from casting ballot tomorrow, because it will cause us more problem, not because we want problem, but because there's no foundation laid for peace. Nothing that is established on deceit will survive. The very element that is in power today is very deceitful. The small peace that was brought here by the international community in America damaged that peace already in advance. Read our articles and you'll get to know about it. We don't hate her. We don't hate her. In fact, when we hadn't known the problem of Liberia for us, there's the only woman, our only time that we ever cast ballot in our life, it was for this woman. The only time that we ever affiliated with a party, it was because of Ellen. So we don't hate her, but we need truth. We need to survive. Our people need to survive. Ourselves need to survive. Our children need to survive. Our children's children need to survive. And we need not just survival, but better life. We need peace, but peace with dignity. Not just about peace. And we can't keep going this way. So in short, we're saying, hold your votes. We have too many opportunities ahead to cast ballot. Hold your votes before the United Nations can wind down her operations totally in this country. Let's go for an all citizens conference. We have written everything by the grace of God. We have taken 5 years to bring up all of the issues. So we're not going to go to the negotiation tables or to the discussion table, the debate table, without knowing what to say. The issues are in abundance, and we need to go down to discuss them, to find some solutions. If you read our articles, you will know all of those deadly issues that are holding this country's future and its destiny down. 195 years, we can't even afford electricity. We can't even eat well. Please, stop this issue of elections. It is not elections that make democracy. Look at China, for example. China has a very collegial form of elections. Is China a democracy? She's a democracy in other respects. But on the overall, China is a one-party communist state. But she has perfect democracy working. Why would we keep lying here in the name of democracy when we're going from bad to worse every day? We are not experts in what we're doing. We have no expertise in any of these things we're doing, but God has spoken to us to speak to you. We've denied ourselves for 5 years researching, because we know that's the only tool, education, the only tool we can use. And that the component, the tool into of that tool we can use is research. We've used it. God has helped us to use it. We've brought up all of those burning issues by the grace of God. We need to debate these issues. We need to debate these issues and live like human beings. Excuse. So we're saying, please, as you will see in a short video, we have prepared our banners to go out, but it was not possible for us to go out because of too many constraints. Remember, let's let you know that apart from writing, apart from this little speaking we've been doing and other actions we've taken, on October 9, one day to the October 10 post, we went in the street again to talk against election. We have witnesses. Although a TV man came, he videotaped us and it was never played on any TV station, we have other witnesses. The United States Embassy was notified. The Liberia National Police was notified. We were sure they saw us marching. The United Nations, we went there bodily, we went there physically to talk to them on these issues during our march. We talked to our citizens. One prominent journalist of this country, Mr. David Tagbe, of the Fabric FM, saw us a long way. Many citizens of this country, the part of Moreover that we marched, people witnessed it. This December 26th post, we're not able to get out because of several reasons, but because we're not tied to one mode of getting out, we're going to use it. We are using the internet as we're doing now. We're using social media to get out. We know every action we take, because of the constraints, because of the handicaps we have, few people will get the message. But people must get the message, because it starts off with few people before it gets to multitude. So as you will see from this video clip, our banner prepared for this march is intact, and we're even using it. We're against everything that is happening, and we need a new country. We need a new country after all of this investment that has been done here by the United Nations. It should not continue with this business as usual, especially as they are winding down. This was God's own way of helping us to set our house in order, to put our house in order. And we should not allow this particular glorious opportunity to slip through our fingers again, fellow human beings, fellow citizens. We beg you, let it take God, or let it not take God to come down to talk to you. Let it not take him to come down to talk to you. Let it not take him to send angels. Angels have their own responsibilities. It is only us who can seek God's help to do our own work. He said, every good thing we will accomplish under the sun will be done by the sweat of our brows. These are some of the physical, these are some of the practical interpretations of those verses from the Bible. So we are repeating here that we are not going to lend legitimacy to Liberia, its constitution, its emblems, its symbols, its government. Will still respect fellow human beings that even working in those systems. But to lend that kind of legitimacy that we need to give to a legitimate entity. We're not going to continue it again with Liberia. And we know millions out there share the same view of us, and they want to see their country change. We can be like any European state. We can be like any American country. We can be like any of these advanced African countries. We just need to pull this bull by the horn and do the right thing now. And not just sit because something was imposed upon us in 1822, so that's just it. Because something was imposed upon us from 1847, so that's just it. No. And we should not always think that we should keep postponing his responsibilities for future generations. It's a wicked mentality. President Obama said, change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. He asked, we are the ones that we've been waiting for excuse, and we are the ones that we seek. Fellow citizens, fellow generation mate, we're saying that this generation bring that change. And let's start with this particular opportunity we have. See the rigmarole already within this electoral process. See the kinds of things that are happening. This is a funny place that does not even know how to handle our own activities yet, all because it's a funny colony. You elect presidents that will have to pay attention to the colonial master first before coming to you. Life can never work that way. We need full-fledged independence. And America is not bad. It's just that every human being, every group of people, once they find somewhere to exploit, they will exploit. It's left with you to say, oh, yes, I think I'm exploited so much. Let's change it. Let's talk to America. We got to change this thing. We have too many talents, too many potentials that are going into the graves every day, all because of the American headship money. Because America must be worshipped. Because we feel once it was so, since 1822, it must be so. Fellow citizens, can you imagine? Do you sometimes think how many Lionel Messi could come from this country? How many Cristiano Ronaldo could come from this country? See what's happening. Please go to our Plain True Revolutionary articles and read. And read. Especially our 4 flyers. 4 key revolutionary flyers against the elections. Read them. Go to https web.facebook.com/plaintruth2013, or just Google out 2013. Google out Plain True Revolution. You will see a lot of articles coming, and any opportunity we have to get in the street will also spread more articles for you to read. If you even made a mistake and stood online tomorrow to vote, before this message comes to you, you still have an opportunity to change your country. Because the result of that election, we all can still say no to it. If the people who say no to our TRC process and they stay in power, we can say no to the electoral process. And we can make the power is in us. We have every right to create the right environment for ourselves by the grace of God. All international laws, all international covenants give us the right to alter the form of government that we have, to alter the conditions that are around us, to make it work for us. No more United Nations money will do it, or no more United Nations force will do it. They will come, they will help us in the process, but it is left with us to make it work for ourselves. We just want to tell you thank you for yielding to our advice and saying no to elections now. Not because elections are bad, but because the design of elections we have here are bad, and we need to sit on the round table. We need to have a national citizens conference or convention to redefine our country, to redefine systems, to set new institutions. It's revolutionary, it's not political. Thank you so much. Thank you, and we look forward to all of us joining hands to ensure that this All Citizens Conference is held by the grace of God before Ome leaves finally in March 2018. Thank you again.